saying, look at me, listen to me. You will survive. You will have a good family of your own and 3 children. And as hard as it might be to imagine, your daughter will grow up and become the President of the United States.
Now that is powerful.
Not really. Of course, those baffling remarks immediately prompted predictable mockery across social media. One Twitter user writing, quote, "She'll be teaching you how to wipe an email server with a cloth." Another, quote, "Is this a master class on avoiding Wisconsin, peddling collusion, hoaxes, paying Russians to meddle in our elections, deleting emails, or being a sore loser?" And Hillary, does your speech mention anything about 18 U.S.C. 793? That's the Espionage Act. Does it mention anything about deleting subpoenaed emails or paying for the dirty Russian Steele dossier that was used to spy on your opponent, Donald Trump? Here was reaction. Author of the bestseller, Laptop from Hell, Fox News contributor Miranda Devine, along with Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett. I don't even know, Miranda, what to make of that, except, you know, I'm for a little less crying on television now, of late. Between her and Baldwin, I can't take it.
Look, I mean, it's quite hilarious. And what's most hilarious is that she's billed this as some sort of masterclass, I think, that people are supposed to pay for. And it just looks like a masterclass in self-pity and delusion, or maybe a masterclass in how to lose an election. That speech is just shocking. And, you know, you have to note that she's, you know, very emotional about this loss from 5 years ago, but she wasn't as emotional. She was quite callous, actually, when she was testifying about Benghazi. So I just look at those tears and they leave me cold. I normally feel a little sorry for people who are overcome by emotion, but not in this case, because it's so self-engrossed.
But you take Craig Jarrett, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. The fact that we now know Steele lied, it was an unverifiable, ironically Russian dirty dossier used to spy on her political opponent and that transition team and a president, and she got away with it, and she used it to distract from the email scandal, the server, you know, like, that she wiped clean and had her devices busted up with hammers. You did it, Miranda did it, I did it, we go to jail. She does it, nothing.
Yeah, Hillary could teach a master class in cluelessness. I had the misfortune of watching all of it. It was pathetic and embarrassing and actually nauseating. I kept thinking, what kind of a person does this? Well, a person who yearns for relevance, to be sure, but an embittered person who refuses to accept personal responsibility for her own failure. She lost because she ran a hideous campaign with unpopular policies and came across as unlikable, and yet she's obsessed with blaming others. She wrote an entire book blaming everybody else but herself. You know, people like this, Sean, you know, can't stand defeat. They can't stand criticism. She seems like a classic case of narcissistic personality disorder, this overwrought sense of entitlement, an exaggerated sense of self-importance, and no sense of self-awareness. But on top of it, as you point out, scandal and malfeasance follows her everywhere she goes. Miranda's right. She didn't give a damn about the murdered Americans in Benghazi. She said, what difference does it make? She invented and financed and disseminated the Russia hoax and lied about it. She insisted she did nothing wrong in her email scandal and lied about that, and her so-called charity. Well, that's a quid pro quo personal enrichment scheme. So, you know, Hillary Clinton sowed the seeds of her own demise. When she looks in the mirror, there's no reflection there. She's like the picture of Dorian Gray, who sold her soul and destroyed herself.